Hello, I would like to welcome you to the engagement informational video for the Resilient Okotoks Climate Action Plan. I'm Roisin and I'm a project assistant in the Environment and Sustainability Department at the town of Okotoks. And I would like to introduce Sherry Young, who is the Climate Change and Energy Specialist at the town of Okotoks.
Thanks, Roisin. As you know, we are here to make a plan about climate action in the town of Okotoks. In this first video, we'll go over the Resilient Okotoks Climate Action Plan project, how we got to this point, why your participation is important, and how your responses will be used to inform the final plan. For information on how to log on and complete the survey, we will provide that at the end of this video, or you can click on the next video on how to answer each question. Many of you have participated in environmental education events like our Green Living Workshop, the Water Rebate Program, or previous community engagement discussions on sustainability. We have compiled all your feedback from these events, and we are now asking how best to prioritize actions in order to adapt to and mitigate climate change. In 2018, Council committed to achieving carbon neutrality by 2050 as part of the Environmental Master Plan. What this means is that we will put no more carbon emissions into the atmosphere than what is being taken out on an annual basis. This means we have to mitigate climate change, which involves reducing emissions through energy efficiency, reducing consumption in our vehicles, from our home heating, from electricity, and perhaps replacing it with renewable energy or just reducing it altogether. Another action to mitigate climate change means storage. So planting trees, using natural assets that grow and sequester or store carbon in their natural systems, and possibly technological solutions. The rest of the actions are intended to adapt to climate change. This means increasing our ability to live with the effects of a changing climate. This includes things like not building in a flood zone, ensuring that we have enough water storage to last through droughts, and preparing for air quality events such as forest fires. The Climate Action Plan will be a plan of these concrete actions brought up in previous engagements by you that will be completed by the town, local businesses, and residents. The overall question we are trying to answer is, what actions should we do now, and which ones can wait till later? We have to do all the actions, but we can't do them all at the same time. When you answer this overarching question through filling out the survey, we are able at the town to inform our decisions based on what residents think we should prioritize. We will spread out all the actions over the next 30 years to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050. Why does this matter? The effects of climate change are already apparent here in Okotoks, and we have to take action. Climate change causes an increase in the risk of flooding, drought, which we've seen before, strain on water resources, heat waves, wildfires, and other more intense storms. We still have the ability to do something about it while making our community a better place to live. Because these actions are not just about climate. Some of these actions, including fewer cars and more active transportation corridors, mean fewer noisy vehicles and less exhaust at ground level. More trees and more green spaces to sequester or store that carbon means, well, more green spaces and trees. Where does this all come from? In 2018, we completed an assessment of all the sources of greenhouse gases in Okotoks. As you can see, most of our emissions are here at Okotoks come from the fuels we burn in our vehicles. Following that is the emissions from heating and powering our homes. The actions from the town emit 24,000 tons of greenhouse gases a year. This includes the arena, the landfill, all of the services that we provide to you. The community, the greater community, emits another 380,000 tons of greenhouse gases a year. To be carbon neutral right now, at our current emissions level, we would need to take out 400,000 tons of greenhouse gases a year from our day-to-day activities. This means 2 million trees, or 200 trees for every yard in town. This is not practical or possible. So we need to come up with other ways of reducing our emissions. This is the timeline of how we are going to get the Climate Action Plan into place. Through public engagement on the Environmental Master Plan, the Greenhouse Gas Baseline Report, the Municipal Development Plan, and ongoing feedback from residents, We collected all the actions over the last few years to reach carbon neutrality by 2050. We grouped these actions into 6 main categories: buildings and energy, transportation and planning, waste, ecosystems and local food, health, wellness and preparedness, and water conservation and management. Each action also has a difficulty score, which estimates how hard it will be to implement and how many emissions will be reduced by the action. Public engagement, this is where we are now. We're doing this in order to find out which actions Okotoks residents think are the most important and make sure that we have a broadly supported plan. We will take what we hear in this public engagement and compile it into a report which we'll present to Town Council. After that, we start implementing the actions that are not already in progress. Why should you participate? You are part of the broad and diverse group of people here in Okotoks. We want to create the most fair and widely supported plan as possible. And as a resident or business owner here in Okotoks, you have a unique perspective on what you think we should do to make Okotoks as resilient to climate change as possible. You know what will make the biggest impact in your home, in your life, or in your business, and we want to hear from you. So get started. The next video will tell you how to have your say on the climate action plan, and you can click on the survey at the link here to start giving us your feedback.